Hello and welcome to this edition of the Picturehub show. Today I have Nyari Dhliwayo, young Zimbabwean entrepreneur and founder of Yanaya. Is it a restaurant, cafe? What did you?
Yeah, I'm still also trying to figure out what it is. It is a restaurant, it's a fast food, it's a cafe. I think we're in between fast food, cafe, restaurant. Someone needs to come up with a definition of what we are.
Okay. Oh yes, and it sells healthy food.
Yes.
So I don't know if saying fast food does healthy food qualify under fast food?
You can have healthy fast food because the idea of fast food is
fast.
that it's fast.
Okay.
So you can do,
Okay.
I mean, you do a smoothie in
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can.
So when people say, oh, I'm getting off fast food, I guess you have to be talking about the non-healthy option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for the people out there who don't know, I want you to finish off this sentence. Nyari is ...
Nyari is the founder of Yanaya Lifestyle, and my purpose is to inspire you to live a healthier and happier life.
Okay, that's nice. And how do those goals find expression? Like, can you give like specific examples to say, oh, okay, there's this and there's that and there's this?
Oh, okay. So for starters, we have our off-the-shelf dairy-free yogurt.
Okay.
It's to ensure that you know that once you reach 30 years old, you become lactose intolerant.
I know, my wife is.
Yeah. So the goals find expression in that to say we do realize that there is a gap in the market and we're coming in with solutions. You're lactose intolerant, here's a solution for your gut.
Oh, wow. Besides the yogurt, what else do you have? And this is your own that you invented?
Yes. This is a first on the Zimbabwean market.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Besides the yogurt, what else do you have?
Off the shelf, we
Yes.
currently only have the yogurt. We're still working out to roll out other lines.
Okay, where can I find the yogurt?
We are stocked at Food Lovers, Vegan Vibes. It's a specialty vegan store in Enterprise 167 Enterprise. We are stocked at Juniper. It's also a healthy foods specialty store at Village Walk. We are, that's Food Lovers, Vegan Vibes in Juniper. That's where we're currently stocked. And you can also buy from our website and from our restaurants.
Okay. So besides the products, what else?
We have food. We're freshly squeezed juices, no sugar added, no preservative. You eat what
And I
you
must say, that's I once went to the Joanna branch.
Yeah.
I think that's the best smoothie I've ever had.
With
no sugar.
Yes.
For me, I thought it was going to be like one of those green juices.
Yeah.
That cringe, but it was actually really nice.
It's actually very nice. You should give them a try. I can vouch for this. We make the best smoothies, the best juices in the whole country. If you go anywhere else and you have anything better than what you can get from Yanaya, I'll pay you.
Wow, challenge. Okay, so what does Yanaya mean?
Okay, Yanaya is two-pronged. First, it's Mvura Yanaya.
Okay.
Freshness has come.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the second, it's Hebrew for an answered prayer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep. And how?
Sorry, I have my uncle who says, before he says something, he says, I'm about to tell you something that's deep, you know.
Yeah. So how did it all begin? Where did it start?
Okay, so I lived in South Africa. I was at university, at Stellenbosch University. That's when my vegan journey started.
Okay.
I was vegan 2 years.
What made you want to start to be vegan?
The motivating factor was I had a very close friend of mine who had cancer. So in his last days, they had then recommended him to go on a plant-based diet. So I did it as support to make it easier for him to also go plant-based, to say, okay, we're going to do it together. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. He died. That's how it started. But also, I'm Adventist, and Adventists are big on plant-based living, a healthy lifestyle, and all of that. So I had the information. It was just execution. So when my friend was then said to go on a plant-based diet, I then made the decision to go vegan.
Okay.
Moved back to Zimbabwe. It was slightly difficult for me to maintain my vegan diet.
What challenges did you face?
So I was living at my parents' house. Everyone at home eats meat. So it was just difficult to sustain it, to have my own pot and all of that stuff. So I moved from becoming vegan to downgrade and become vegetarian. Did you say I downgraded? I'm sure. It's like it has levels. So I was vegetarian. I love eating out. I love going out and eating. So I would struggle to say whenever I go out, I would only find myself eating fries and lettuce.
The struggle is real.
Yeah. You don't even want to call it like a Greek salad. It's lettuce and tomatoes and a bit of cucumber sometimes. So I got bored of doing that. But whilst I was in South Africa, in Stellenbosch, there was a lot of variety of things that I could go out and I would actually enjoy a meal out being vegan. So I realized that there wasn't anything for people like me who were health conscious, but also enjoy a meal out. So I thought, look, there is a gap, let me tap into it. So when we started, I used to do office deliveries.
Okay.
I would cook at my flat. I knew a couple of other people that were vegetarian, and I would deliver to their offices.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And you know, I'm also a vegetarian. I think it's been over a year.
How has that been going for you?
I love it, but the first few days were hard because like with my work I travel a lot.
Oh yeah.
So what happens is you go to a restaurant, you go to a hotel somewhere that's not in Harare.
Oh yeah.
The only options you're going to get is chips.
Yeah.
And at some point, if you're saying, okay, I want to live a healthy lifestyle, fries are probably not the best.
True.
Yeah.
Because they're fried.
Yeah, so you might as well eat the meat, you know. So it gets hard when you travel, but when I'm at home, it's easier.
True.
You know, it's easier. What has been the most memorable part of your journey with Yanaya to date?
The most memorable part, interesting. A lot of them are memorable, but I guess the most memorable one is the very first day that we opened Yanaya.
The physical store.
The physical store, the booth.
Yeah.
When we started with a booth. It was a grab and go booth. The first day was the most memorable one.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know whether people were going to buy. Like what are smoothies. And also because of our location, we were at Joyner City.
Yeah.
So it was a gamble. Say, let's try. But on our first day, we sold out. We sold everything that we had. It was like a confirmation that says, you can do it.
Wow.
That was the most memorable.
Wow. I'm just even getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And after that, like, I know running a business has got its own challenges.
Yeah.
You know, there are lots of things that even I, with my own business, when I look back, I think, okay, maybe I shouldn't have made that decision. Do you have instances like that where, like, okay, this was one of my biggest business mistakes?
Biggest business mistake. I have to give it
Too many.
a lot. A lot. To say of the many mistakes that we made. I wish I knew when I started that cash flow is king.
Yeah, that's very important actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as you asked me the question, I was kind of thinking most of the mistakes that we made where cash flow was the core of them.
Okay, can you give me like one instance, because I feel like I understand what you're saying, in that your business might be profitable, but if you don't have enough to run, for the next couple of weeks or whatever, you might find yourself in a very interesting position. But what do you mean when you...
So our business is one that runs on cash flow. Every day you need to be recycling money because we work with perishables. So every day you need to be recycling money. So if you don't have, I've read books where they say you need to have money enough to sustain you for 6 months personally, and the business running on its own before it starts making profits.
Wow.
So for us, it was everything that we had put in the business, and then 3 months the business has not let anything, and the personal finances are struggling.
Wow.
So for us, that was a major challenge in the first year.
Did that ever at any one point make you feel like giving up?
Definitely. A lot of days are just like, you know what,
next week.
Yeah.
So what would make you stick with it?
It's people that would keep coming. People would keep coming where you just say, today we don't have anything. Today we're not going to operate. And someone would come and say they want something that would confirm to say, but there are people out there that are depending on you to create healthy meals for them. So that would keep us going.
Yeah, I can attest. It's hard to find good like vegetarian food. You don't want to eat meat, but at the same time, when you go out with your wife, then you want to have good food. You don't want to be struggling every single time, to find something decent to eat. What advice would you give to Nyari after the first year of running Yanaya? Knowing what you know now.
Take it easy. Your best days are ahead of you. Even on your worst days, there are still miracles laced around you.
Okay.
I think that's the advice I would give myself, to just take it easy. There are better days ahead.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And are you married? You have kids?
Yes. I'm married to a holy hunker for Jesus and myself.
Holy babe.
Pastor baby.
Okay. So you're also a pastor then?
No, I'm not a pastor.
You're a pastor's wife?
I'm a pastor's wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And kids?
We don't have any
No kids yet.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is it being Nyari the entrepreneur, the wife, and the pastor's wife? Yeah.
It's difficult. It's because all of these roles come with expectations. And at any given point, you are supposed to meet all these expectations, which is ridiculous, because I'm not superhuman. I'm human. On some days, I'm Nyari the entrepreneur, and I'm terrible at being Nyari the wife. On some days, I'm Nyari the pastor's wife and a terrible entrepreneur. So bringing the work-life and church balance is very difficult. Yeah.
I guess, and I know being in business, there's some hard decisions that you have to make. And I know do people get fired at Yanaya?
Definitely.
Pastors also fired you.
Please, here we're talking about Nyari the entrepreneur. We're not talking about Nyari the pastor's wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. How I know, for me personally, there are a lot of things that you go through and are misunderstood. And I think that's one thing that sucks in life and business, where your intentions are to do good, but they are misunderstood for something else. And I can only imagine, I know in business it happens a lot, especially if you're leading a business and you're leading people. And I can only imagine being a woman, one, and two, being a pastor's wife. For you, how do you handle situations like that? One, and then two, what do you think is the most misunderstood thing about women in business in Zimbabwe?
Okay, so I just want your questions in parts.
Yeah.
The first one is, how do I deal with being misunderstood in my different roles, in the different hats that I wear? So what I've just told myself is that I'm going to be true to me. If I can go to bed with myself, between me and God, I'm happy.
So how do you draw the line between that and selfishness?
I know it's very selfish, but look, we are millennials. A lot of expectations of pastor's wife. If you think of a pastor's wife in your head, it does not describe me. Not at all. Pastors' wives, you know, they're supposed to laugh in a certain way. They're supposed to carry themselves with a certain aura and a certain demeanor. And it does not describe me in any way. But I married this man because I love him. So for me to box myself in these expectations and say I'm supposed to act in this way, if I act in this way, I'm going to be misunderstood. It's a very heavy burden for me to carry. So between me and God and me being a helper to this man, if everything is aligned, I'm sorry, I'm going to be selfish and go to bed with myself happy.
I like that. I like that. Because you also can't please everyone.
You can't. It's difficult. When you think that you're pleasing Costa, Likwa is not happy. When I think I'm pleasing Likwa, Costa is not happy. So you can never. For me, it's myself, God, and my husband. If these are happy, and if I can go to bed with myself.
Happy.
Yeah.
That's good. And then for being a businesswoman in Zimbabwe, what do you think is one of the most misunderstood things about?
So you know what's funny? I've had people who say, with the way Yanaya has grown, you're probably sleeping with someone in the government or something, which is not true. That as women, we have the capacity within ourselves to lead enterprises that are going to disrupt industries without having paid anyone in kind or in cash.
That's true. That's true. It's sad how sometimes we always attribute to success that, oh, maybe there's a white person behind it. Maybe it's a government official.
I actually like playing the white person's card. Actually, you know, Yanaya is owned by a German woman.
Well, that's interesting. And say you were to somehow end up in politics. You are the Minister of Small to Medium Enterprises and Cooperative Development. What changes, considering what you mentioned that, you know, we're millennials, what changes would you make to make sure that young entrepreneurs succeed?
I'll make sure that there is capital funding for their businesses, because I think that's the biggest hurdle for anyone that wants to get into business. It's capital. A lot of us has to start on the grassroots. You know, you don't have any, your father is not a minister, you don't come from a well-up family, so you really have to struggle from the bottom all the way up, which is not necessary if funding is available and if there are good ideas that can be funded. So I think the first thing that I would do is to make sure that funding is available.
Then my question is to that, won't you have, because for me, I feel like when you started, did you have funding?
I didn't have funding.
No, but you're here today.
Yes.
How do you balance? I do understand that there's some businesses at a certain point where funding is needed. Your idea has been tested. There's a market that's available. And someone who hasn't even got their feet wet, how do you then distinguish?
I know, hey? It's like, it's neither here nor there. I am grateful I didn't have funding when we started. I'm grateful we had to build blocks, because some of the lessons that I've learned in business from building from your way down, I would have never learned if someone had just put a stash of cash for me.
Yeah.
So I think it's neither here nor there. And it's also very difficult to say this is how you put the bridge, because there are some ideas that are just good to go, that you don't need to start cooking from your kitchen. You could just...
Yeah. So on that point, what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur? Nyari is not the finance minister.
Yeah.
We can't get funding easily. So how do I, with my idea, start?
Start. That's just the advice. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start now, not tomorrow. Because I think that a lot of people will always have excuses. I can't start because of this. I can't start. You will always have excuses. At any point, you could have $1 million. You're always going to have excuses. So if you have an idea that is valid, start.
So I guess look at what you have access to, and then use that. And I guess access to might not necessarily mean finance or equipment and things. Maybe looking through your networks, the goodwill that your name has. That's interesting. Okay, so now we are at our rapid fire question. Which 2 songs have you played the most this week?
I'm not musical.
You don't listen to music?
No, I'm not musical like that.
Wow. Okay, so what do you do? Like what entertains you?
Not music.
Okay, yeah, but what?
Netflix, don't judge me.
Okay, so what 2 Netflix shows?
Am I watching?
Yeah.
Behind the Eyes, Amsterdam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of about those 2.
Yeah.
I started watching Behind Her Eyes.
It's so messed up, dude. It's messed up. I watched it, and I stopped. I'm just like, I'm not going to do this thing to myself.
And okay, what's your favorite place? The next question is, what's your favorite place you've been to, and what's the favorite place you would like to go to in Zimbabwe?
This island in Victoria Falls, River Island, I would like to go there.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Never heard of.
Dude, it's like celestial. Yeah. It's
River
in Victoria,
Island.
Yeah, it's
in
like an
Victoria Falls.
island in the Zambezi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They said that Steve Harvey has stayed there. Prince Harry has stayed there. Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, River
I think
Island.
I'll look it up. And then the places you've been that you like. Your
I
favorite
love
places.
the Eastern Highlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like those too.
Yeah.
Like which specific part?
Vumba.
Okay. So in Vumba, do you have like a favorite place to go?
Not necessarily.
I mean, where you go and stay, like either hotel, lodge, or
Not
maybe it's
necessarily.
Like
We have family friends that own lodge there.
Oh wow.
So we frequent there.
Can I be one of your family friends there?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite food?
I love sushi.
Sushi.
Yes.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. This morning, my wife asked me, "What's your favorite food?" It first started where, what were we watching? We were watching something, and then they asked, "What's your favorite color?" Then I started thinking, I don't think I have a favorite color.
My favorite color is bottle green.
Oh wow, that's nice. I guess that's why there's a lot of green at your place.
Yes, definitely.
That's
like
cool.
green. I probably have maybe 10 green dresses.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know my wife's favorite color is that's olive green.
Oh yeah. Olive green is great too.
So who's your hero in Zim? So 2 questions. Who's your ultimate hero?
My dad.
Okay, that's interesting.
My dad is a legend.
Okay, why do you say that?
I mean, you should meet him. He's like...
What do you like about him? What are the 3 things you like about him?
He's the best thing that has happened to Africa. Well, after McDonald's, sliced bread, and my dad happened like boom.
Okay, no, we need to hear. Give me at least 3.
3 things.
Yeah. 3 things you like about your dad.
He's my father.
Okay.
I mean, look at me.
Amazing, wonderful.
He's an amazing person. Look, I've met a lot of people. He's very supportive. I went to university. I studied art in
Like painting or?
design and photography.
Oh,
that
wow.
was a BA in arts. I wasn't on a scholarship. My dad was paying from his, and that was a lot of money. My dad is not rich. My dad is. I come from an average family. He was literally sacrificing his everything that I could be who I am today.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not like he invented Apple or anything, but he sacrificed his everything that I could have the best.
So while we're on that point, to you, what do you think makes like a manly man, you know? So it could be a dad, or it could just be a man, or it could just be like a husband. Or maybe let's keep it to that. Either a father or a husband. What do you think makes a man? What qualities would you say, you know, this is a
man?
Yeah.
Leadership, provision, and support.
Support.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You're a hero. If a woman, who's your hero? If it's a woman.
Well, you're putting me in corner. You want me to say my mother?
No,
but I'm
no.
not saying my mother.
It can be business. It can be in politics. It can be religion. You know, anyone who inspires you, like a woman.
My former boss.
Serious?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Why do you say? Oh, who is she, and where did you used to work?
I used to work at Seedco.
Okay.
Yeah. She is the marketing commercial director at Seedco. The way she just rose through the ranks, integrity in business and in the corporate world, she inspires me.
Wow.
Her name is Lokadia Marongo.
Wow. That's inspiring.
Yeah.
To leave such a mark
Yeah.
on someone who worked for you. You know, because a lot of the times you hear like horror stories. You know, but that's very interesting. And while we're on that point, it's not on my list, but while we're on that point, I know you have a team. What have you learned, you know, managing a team, and what advice would you give to someone whose business is getting to that point where, okay, you're realizing I can't do everything by myself? What advice? What have you learned, and what advice would you give?
I've learned that we are gifted differently. And we always get the most when we leverage on people's strong points. That on my team, I have team members that are very outgoing. It comes as a weakness, but also as a strength, that whenever I get to work, they're not there. They've gone somewhere. So to leverage, to know, okay, this one likes, so if ever I need, then those are the people that I'm always getting to do that.
So how do you identify those strengths when you're hiring? Like, is there a way of, or it's just something that happens over the course of time?
I think it's something that happens over the course of time. That, you know, with a job description, say these are my expectations, these are your KPIs, and then as you go forward, you realize that they thrive in doing this. As much as the KPIs are still there, leverage on what they thrive on to deliver the results.
Okay. So what advice would you give to someone who's about to take on an employee?
For me, what has worked, don't employ yourself. Get someone else to employ you. That's what has worked for me.
Oh, so you mean like you tell someone what you need, and then they are responsible for putting that together?
Yes.
So did you go to like these HR firms to do that, or?
Oh yeah, we have someone, it's not an HR firm, but they manage our employment and everything. It's a person, they understand me, my expectations, my aura, if that is possible. So when then they employ, they're going to employ someone that's going to fit in the team, the culture, and the ethics.
And then did they then train you how to handle the person? Because I'm sure not everyone is born with. Because when I look back, just for me personally, I think I in my business, that's one area I've made like so many mistakes. And there's some things I can tell you, okay, maybe this don't do, maybe this don't do. And so do you as a person, the hiring person, get training on how to treat
These people.
Yeah.
So some of the biggest mistakes that we made in our first year was not being able to manage people. So what I've done now, and what is working for us now, I'm bad with people management. I don't manage people. I have someone that manages the people. My relationship with my team is just on that delivery.
Yeah. Okay, that's
If they have problems or challenges, they have someone who manages that. I am just on, these are your KPIs, these are my expectations. How can I help you to ensure that you deliver what I want you to deliver, and I pay you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
So we have a website, www.yanaya.co.zw.
Okay.
You can order from there, and we deliver all across Harare.
You deliver?
Yes, we deliver.
I can order, and what's the cutoff time? Like say if we want to order dinner?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Yeah.
Wow. And any day of the week?
We don't work on Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
Sunday to Friday, we operate from 9 to 5 p.m.
Wow. Okay. So you heard it from Nyari, from Yanaya, and thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one.